Hi.
But you might want to mention that that's our name.
Yeah. You. Thanks, Reggie. Thanks for the introduction. As mentioned, I'm from Lego. I'm here to tell you a little bit about how we do social media in Lego. So basically, I think it's very important that we never forget when we talk about social media and we talk about data points and we talk about all the different data we can collect from social media, that we never forget what it's really about. And it's really about people. It's about creating connections and it's about building relationships. And we all know this situation where you basically are very closely in contact with another person, where you're actually able to see the cues, get the cues about how you should engage, how you should interact. And also, this is kind of the ambition we have for our interaction with our consumers. We want to be this close to our consumers. It is, of course, a very, very high ambition, and it's also difficult for us to do all the time. Sometimes we end up doing like this. We're the awkward sales guy, might be at a conference. We're trying to push our message through, but we're really not listening to the consumer and finding out what he or she is actually want us to do. And sometimes we even end up in this situation, basically leaving our consumer and our customer hanging at the bar. And we all know what's then going to happen. Then this guy will probably move in. And that is our competitors. That is our competition, because on social media, you always have this constant struggle for attention. If you go on Facebook, Facebook is never empty. There's always some content, some connections, some engagement that the consumer can talk about. And if we're not there, then someone else will be. Hopefully not just Clooney every time, because that's quite difficult. So I'll dive into the details about social needs, how we perceive social needs in Lego, how we will build value for the company based on those needs, and how we're able to be at that right moment, to be right there when the consumer needs us in real time. So the social needs. In Lego, we basically think about social in this way. Social media is nothing but a set of technologies that basically enhances our social nature, both as a human being, but also as a company. And if we, as a company, is focused on control systems and basically controlling our messages, then we'll also be that on social media. We will not be this very social company. So we need to change the company, and we need to be that way in the company. It's also important to say that people and humans, we are hardwired to social engagement. It's built into our body, it's been built into our brains that we are social from nature. And businesses, Lego and others, that want to create success in social media, we really need to drill down and find out what are those social needs in our customers. We cannot just push a lot of content to people. We cannot just rely on that. So in Lego, we are building our engagement on two different needs, or at least the two basic needs. It's about building together, so to kind of the social joy of building things together. And it's also about the pride of creation. So when you do stuff, you want to share it with other people. You want to have the peer recognition. So here are just a couple of images about building together. So these images are from a competition. There is a worldwide competition about building Lego Mindstorm robots. It's done by First Electronics. It's called First Lego League. But here you can see how kids are really, really engaged. And also you can see the first kind of how they are absorbed by the building phases about building these robots. And then when they found out and they make it through, the robots are actually able to do the stuff that they set out to do, then you see the excitement. And personally, I'll never get tired of seeing images like this about kids and also sometimes adults that are really so engaged with the social game. The pride of creation. So these are just few of millions and millions of images about Lego and about content that people are sharing online. And it's kind of a two-way pride of creation. It's both about kids showing their parents their creations, but it's also about parents showing the rest of the world how good their kids are. And if you just go through a couple of different images, people they create very nice builds with Mindstorms. They do very creative builds. Very creative builds. I don't know really know what it is, but you can for sure. This guy, he knows, and he has a story around it. I'm certain that that's the case. We also have kind of scary builds sometimes, so Lego can be dangerous. And we also have amazing builds. This guy built a replica of the ISS space station while he was actually in space. And just as a kind of a public service information, I can say that if you want to build stuff while you're weightless, you need to have something like this actually going on. You will not step on the bricks, but you will have them flying all over the place if you don't take care. So it's a really critical need, this pride of creation. So then we take the next step about how we can leverage these two social needs and build campaigns. So this is a campaign we did last year at Christmas, basically trying to connect parents and kids playing together and having them share their pride of creation.
In December 2012, we wanted to create attention around the LEGO brand and get people all over the world to spend time with LEGO during the holiday season. The challenge: to create brand awareness and show an emotional connection between the LEGO brand and key family moments during December. We decided to turn the challenge on its head and not just show, but create family moments with LEGO, thereby creating an emotional bond between the brand and the consumer. Our solution was simply to add another layer of play to the LEGO experience. With the LEGO Happy Holoplay campaign, we gave people inspiration to build 5 different LEGO figures, all part of a fairy tale, and invited them to take pictures of their creations in fun and surprising real-life locations. This simple idea created a whole new dimension to the traditional brick figures, suddenly making them part of the real world. We even gave it a name: Brickmented Reality. The campaign then ended with a short film, concluding the fairy tale written around the best pictures from LEGO fans and, of course, wishing everybody a happy holiday. To launch the campaign, we used LEGO's presence in social and digital media. The word spread like a wildfire and instantly resulted in thousands of likes, shares, and comments. From then on, the campaign lived a life of its own. The results: during 3 intense campaign weeks, people from 119 different countries, spreading from Japan, the US, Singapore, and Germany to French Polynesia, submitted pictures to the campaign website. The campaign videos received more than 150,000 views. Blogs around the world wrote about the campaign, and judging from the tons of positive feedback we received through comments and mail, we clearly managed to create an emotional bond between LEGO and the people participating. But most importantly, the pictures submitted showed that the campaign captured the true spirit of LEGO, and the people were more imaginative and creative than we had dared to dream of. Not to mention the hours of fun people had all over the world, creating LEGO pictures together, young and old. Yes, it truly was a happy holiplay. Holiday.
So this video clearly shows how we can actually benefit from leveraging these social needs and how we can create a massive engagement that is far larger than we can do with traditional paid media by leveraging the social needs. But then again, how can we actually measure value, and how can we consistently measure value across all we do on all channels? So in LEGO, we are focusing on our social needs and our customers. We have our business strategy, and basically the gap between those two, that is our social media strategy. So that is how we connect the different dots. So we create value in the company and we measure value, we increase the sales, we improve our marketing efficiency, we build our brand affinity, and we also make sure that the company doesn't get hurt in social media by being there and make sure that we can have those conversations with the consumer. That has made us basically build the organization, build social media into the organization, making sure, for instance, that people are capable of handling social media. In LEGO, you need to have a social media driver's license actually to represent the company in social media, and that is something that's just one of the ways that we've built it into the company. Then, on top of that, we call it not posting content or doing content marketing on social media. We call it setting the engagement, or basically orchestrating the engagement, because we think that's the way that we should go about it. Just a small example about how we can increase sales. This is just a very granular example, and this is from last year, where every year we do the annual Star Wars Day, so that's on May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. And here we took some content created by a fan, connected it with a promotion. The fan-created content can sometimes be much more social and much more shareable. And by using this connection between a promotion and some creative content, we got a lot of reach in social media. We got more than, I think, a viral reach about more than 1 million people. And within the first 4 hours of this promotion, just through this Facebook post, without any paid support or boosting of this post, we could see revenue for more than $10,000 coming in. So every time we're able to connect a purchase opportunity with some creative content, we can see that's really taking off. And we invested 15 minutes of work. I was doing this while I was in transit in an airport. So the investment in doing this a couple of times, trying it out, is not that hard. How we can improve our marketing efficiency, I just have a small example about a product that came out last year. It's called Life of George, and it's kind of a product that's difficult to explain. It's an accessory, so you buy an app that you can download, and then you also buy some bricks with some visuals, kind of image recognition. But we wanted to try out new stuff in this way, so we did the $100 campaign. That was basically what we had at a budget, because sometimes when you need to think about social media marketing, you need to also be radically different in the way that you approach this. So if you just assign the same kind of budget for a social media campaign, you'll also have the tendency to do it the same way as you used to. You'll call up an agency, and they will build together a campaign, and you'll make sure that the whole budget is gone. So we tried to just, what can we do for $100? It's crazy how we spend money sometimes. We focused the campaign on this character because this character was very social. So this is the George. 6 weeks prior to the launch of the product, no news were out about the product, and we basically asked the users, please build George with your own bricks, put him in a cool place, and take a picture and upload it or share it on social media. It took 20 minutes before we saw the first images coming in. This is, you can see, from Greece. Then he went to Spain, Madrid, I don't know, it might be there. He went further on to Hollywood. He even went here. He went to Hawaii, all done by the users. An Australian zoo built him in Duplo bricks, another kind of Lego bricks. And he went to Shanghai. He even went to the hairdresser, got a haircut. A girl built George with her bricks, brought him to a wedding. Another user saw this, and every time an image was uploaded, a story was told about this. So George was also married himself. Very nice. The unfortunate thing happened that his ex-girlfriend showed up, Georgina Brixton, and you can see in her relationship status, it's complicated. There was a lot of remakes of album covers, so this is Smells Like Teen Spirit. Those of us might be old enough to remember it. And this guy, he was really amazing. He built George, put him on the front of his motorbike while he was doing a show, driving around in kind of a death dome in Las Vegas, I think it was. He was really amazing. So this was how we, for $100, could create global awareness around this character just by focusing on the same elements, finding out the social needs about sharing, about building, and then building a campaign and setting the stage for that engagement. Building brand affinity. We also have a crowdsourcing site called Lego Kuso, and that's Japanese for I wish. And basically what you can do on this side is that you can upload your ideas for new Lego sets. If you, for instance, do like this, you need to get more than 10,000 supporters, then 4 times a year, we select one of these ideas to be a real product. We launched the products, and this is just some of the ideas. This is a very, very big set, and you can see all the details that are uploaded with it. So people are spending a lot of time on this. Even some of the marketing material for this sandcrawler from the Star Wars. And these are just a couple of the latest products that we came out with. And we don't need to spend any marketing budget on this because the engagement has built up such an excitement about these products that they're basically selling themselves. Just a final thing about real-time, how we can move it into real-time. As many other brands, we're constantly monitoring what people are saying. We're trying to deploy content. We have people sitting available so they can actually do content. But we also work a lot with different fans because they are sometimes the best resource to actually have content. So this was, for instance, when Neil Armstrong died, a fan had already created some content we could use. We work together with different TV stations, so if there's something happening around Lego, we can instantly connect that with the social media engagement. And also last year we came out with this one right after the iPhone 5 was out, and this is a Lego phone. We kind of leaked it. And we also try to be very honest about it. It is a prototype. We're still struggling with the resolution and all. But if it breaks, you can actually put it back together. And also sometimes we're lucky enough to have something like this. Sorry, this should be a second video.
So one backup, and we can proceed for ILS straight into stop.
Direct to the left.
The small taxi track and hold before the runway. Right on the C-130 is backtracking, preparing for departure.
Flap 1, okay. Door closing and call aboard.
5, we'll go.
Wait for movement. Engage.
Local, but after that, down the departure track.
Location. Nearby.
Felix, you are cleared to jump at your own discretion. I'm on my own.
All of this was fan created, and it's kind of an amazing brand to work with because people are so engaged in the brand that we can get things like that, and then we can basically just make sure that we can amplify it. So just to wrap up, social media, it's all about people. It's all about finding out that each person out there behind those data points are different. They all have different emotions, different feelings, and you need to find out the best way to connect with them. It's about creating and building relationships. It's about making sure that there are no tricks, there are no ways that you can basically shortcut this. You have to basically just work hard, be timely, be relevant, be brave, and be personal. And I think one of the most important things is that you don't just invest your money in this. You also need to invest yourself as a person and as a human being, because it is social connections that you need to build, and it is social emotions that you need to build. At some point, you might see something like this that we had on our Facebook page a couple of months ago, where a mother shared an image of her recently deceased son, and he was a great Lego fan, and she basically put herself out there and tried to explain to the rest of the world and sharing her thoughts about her son and also about his Lego, his love for Lego. And in that moment, you cannot just rely on a lot of paid advertising, you cannot rely on a lot of automation. You need to have people sitting in the front line that are able to react on their emotions and their feelings and make sure that they can handle and come back with a very, very good answer to this mom. So this is what Lego is all about in social media, creating and building connections and making sure that we are very humble and are able and struggle to be able to actually make that effort and go that extra mile in being personal with our consumers and make sure that we can live up to the brand. Thank you.